Ship's log, day 24. We've been diverted from fleet maneuvers in the Valdiri expanse to rendezvous with a transport ship in difficulty in order to pick up and transfer a dignitary to a conference on Princeps. I'm concerned about this VIP traveling aboard ship, as their ethical and moral standpoint is in direct opposition to that of the fleet's purpose and my own personal philosophies.
Seriously, Mark, I don't understand why you're so against this trip. It's not as if we're having to go light years out of our way to pick this guy up and take him to Princeps.
It's not the trip. It's what he represents that I don't like.
Well, not everyone subscribes to his views, true, but I fail to see what the issue is.
Listen, Rachel, we all have things we either believe in or not, and I'd rather we didn't have him on board.
Welcome aboard, Elder.
Thank you, my child. I wish I could say I was pleased to be here, but the mere fact this is a ship of war does not sit well with me.
This isn't a ship of war. It's a ship designed to keep the peace.
Semantics, my dear boy, semantics. And who might you be?
I might be a number of things, but I happen to be Captain Ryan. And you are?
I am Elder Biggstrek of the Universal Church of Humanity.
Never heard of it.
I have an ensign waiting to show you to your quarters, sir. I hope you will join us for dinner?
Alas, no, my child. We of the Universal Church have simple needs. If I can have access to a small oven, I'll prepare my own repast. I have to prepare myself spiritually for the great ordeal ahead.
Ordeal? Sir, you're meeting with other religious leaders to explain your stance on spiritual matters at the annual symposium, not fighting a battle.
Alas, Captain, but I think I will be doing just that.
Course laid in for the Princeps system, sir. Ready to engage at your command.
Sorry. Lieutenant? I was miles away.
Everything alright, sir?
Yeah, no, actually. It's this priest we have on board.
A priest on a starship? Now I've heard everything.
I've read some of their pamphlets. No, I'm not some religious kook, if that's what you're worried about. I just like to be informed about things, that's all. Even if I don't subscribe to what's being said.
Well, you'd probably know a lot more about this universal church than us.
Their tenets indicate their doctrine system is based on the belief that all life in the universe springs from God through humanity, and that humanity was chosen by God as his mouthpiece to spread the word amongst the stars.
Sounds like a lot of propaganda to me.
It's being accused of stirring up anti-non-human feeling on a lot of the outer planets, but there's a lot of adherents to their faith. Some of them quite influential, apparently.
I can't believe we're acting as a taxi for some alien hater.
Oh, they don't advocate the hatred of aliens, Mr. Nolan. In fact, they state in their literature that humanity is a shepherd of all sentient life, and should be helping those less fortunate than us, not hating them.
Maybe I should look into this a little more.
I wouldn't take it too much to heart, sir.
You misunderstand me. I don't want to get into it. I just want to understand where it's coming from.
I didn't take you for a philosopher of the human condition, sir.
And I didn't think you even knew the word philosopher, let alone what it means. So I guess we're about even, Lieutenant. I trust everything's in order with our munitions.
Yes, Captain. The Major's been drilling his lads through every procedure in the book over the last couple of weeks. I've hardly gotten a look in.
Well, maybe you ought to attend to your duties, Mr. Nolan. Jump to it.
Yes, sir.
Sir, wasn't that a bit harsh of you?
The trick with command, Stephen, is to know when to relax and when to break out the whip. It doesn't do for the crew to get too laid back. A little discipline is good for the soul, as I'm sure our passenger would agree. Engage jump drive, Lieutenant. Let's get this over and done with as soon as we can.
Aye, aye, sir. Jump drive engaged.
I can't believe he hasn't been out of his cabin for nearly a week.
Suits me. It's kept him out of my hair. He's probably been communing with his deity all this time.
As in fact I have, Captain Ryan.
Elder, we meant no disrespect to you.
Do not worry yourself, my child. We have faced worse than it's gone before in our travels to spread the word of God across the galaxy.
We're entering Princeps orbit, sir. When will you be ready to embark?
Eager to see the back of me then, Captain.
Nothing of the kind, Elder. I'm just happy that we've arrived and my crew can stretch out their legs a bit.
Yes, of course. Oh, and Captain?
Sir?
I know you are not a man of faith, but I have said prayers for you.
That's nice, sir. Thank you.
You do not need to thank me, Captain. I pray for all those who have not yet seen the true way, that their path be lit with the glory of the Lord, and led to their salvation.
Perhaps we should get down to the shuttle bay and get your transport down to the surface organized, sir.
I've prayed for you, Captain. Yeah, right.
You were as close to downright nasty as I have ever seen you. Are you really that dead set against his beliefs?
Rachel, I've been a fleet officer all my adult life. Never been anything else. Never wanted to be anything else. And here this guy comes, telling us we're wrong to do what we do? You should know how that feels.
I do, but that doesn't mean I get wound up when someone says they've prayed for me.
Never mind. Enter parking orbit directly above the Capitol, Mr. Harper. We may as well make the Elders trip as quick as possible.
Aye, sir. Establishing parking orbits.
I thought this place was supposed to be calm and relaxing.
It is. What's up, Mr. Nolan?
I tuned into the local broadcast network. There's a lot of unrest amongst the populace about this debate. Apparently, there's a load of Universal Church faithful in attendance as well. And there have been clashes with local cops.
Well, that's what happens when people take their religion too seriously and won't listen to any opposing viewpoint.
Sir, the shuttle's prepped and ready for launch.
Very well, Commander. On my way. Lieutenant, care to accompany me for a little trip?
And if I say, no thank you, sir?
I'm sure the sanitation crews haven't had an intruder defense drill for some time.
In that case, sir, I'd be delighted.
Welcome to Princeps, Captain. It's a pleasure to have such a distinguished guest. We were notified by Alliance Sector Command that you're on your way. Hopefully we'll get a chance to show you around a bit while you're here.
Thank you, Father. That's very kind, but we're not here that long. We're just dropping off our passenger, resupplying, then back to our patrol.
Is there something wrong, Captain?
Not at all, sir. Well, best we be sorting out our guests, then.
You don't know what on earth you're talking about.
Hey there, Pops. Calm yourself down a little, eh?
I'm sorry, but I can't accept him being in the same area as this man. His theories are plainly preposterous.
Just because you can't refute what I say does not make them foolish.
Bah! You proclaim to be God's voice, a role reserved for the righteous prophets of the Lord, and yet to expose the biggest load of old...
Gentlemen, please, let's not get carried away here. The whole purpose of this symposium is free and intelligent debate, isn't it? Let's just calm down a bit, shall we?
Religion. Jesus.
Maybe it's best if you both...
I knew I recognized you, even with eyes as old as mine. Well, 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 it is indeed Marcus Ryan, my dear boy. It's been many a long year since I last saw you.
Yes, Your Grace. Unfortunately, I would love to stop and chat, but I have arrangements to make in regards to my ship.
Of course, of course. I, never had an opportunity to offer my condolences about your father. He was a fine man, and,
Excuse me, gentlemen. Duty calls.
I know that's a self-test signal, sir. Not an incoming call alert.
Nolan, if you value your continued existence, weigh very carefully the next words that are heading towards your lips right now.
Very well, sir. I've got duties to attend to, I'm sure.
What do you want, Commander? I gave strict orders I wasn't to be disturbed under any circumstances.
Not even brutal murder?
What?
Father James Runcie was found bludgeoned to death about 30 minutes ago in an alleyway outside the conference center. The local police are requesting assistance due to the increased tension with the conference being on.
Yeah, I saw. You wouldn't think something as silly as a religious debate would get people so wound up.
No, of course not.
I take it we've had a formal invitation from the duly appointed public official, as required?
Of course, sir. The police commissioner has requested additional support from our security department. They're hard-pressed to keep order down there the way things are going at the moment.
Religious hysteria does strange things to even the most rational beings, Commander. Well, get Nolan up and away. The local cops will want to fill him in as quickly as possible.
He's already en route, sir.
Lieutenant Nolan, Odyssey Security Chief. I understand you requested assistance.
Lieutenant, I'm Inspector John MacDonald of the Princeps City Police. Glad to have you here.
No worries, Inspector. What seems to be the problem?
Well, we have very little crime here, mostly due to the populace being native workers, and with our economy being so good, people don't tend to want to rock the boat. But murder? I can't even remember there being any reports of a murder here since the early days of the colony.
Let's have a look at the body. Not a pretty sight, is he?
Our pathologist has had a look, but it's been so long since we had a violent death cadaver to examine.
Say no more, Inspector. Nolan to Odyssey. Patch me through to Medbay.
Medbay, morale here. What is the problem, Lieutenant?
Doctor, we've got a body down here that the local police can't autopsy without possibly losing evidence. Is there any chance I can arrange for transport back up for you to take a look and see what you can find?
You want me to autopsy a body from some native brawl?
Hardly. It's one of the delegates from the symposium. Looks as if someone took a dislike to one of his sermons.
Very well, Lieutenant. Have the body flown back as soon as possible. I will endeavour to provide as much information as I can.
Thank you, Doctor. I appreciate the assistance. Nolan out.
I know exactly what she'll find.
And what would that be, Constable?
Well, it's obvious, isn't it?
Not to me it isn't. Why don't you tell us then, mate?
Well, it's got to be that gnat that shipped in with you guys this morning, isn't it? He and the father there were going at it hammer and tongs most of the day. Everybody saw them.
You're right. You obviously haven't had to deal with much crime around here. No offence, Inspector, but your men are idiots.
Listen, spacemen.
No, you listen, and listen good. This whole place is teetering on the edge of a major riot, Constable Obvious. Anyone with half a brain can see that. And stupid, half-assed talk like that crap you just came out with is exactly what the nutters on both sides of the argument are going to be waiting for. Official confirmation that the elder offed the priest. Faster than you can say, Jesus, this place will be 1 inch shy of a civil war. So keep your opinions to yourself. You got me?
Loud and clear, sir.
Good. Now get over there and keep those gawkers away.
Not that I don't appreciate what you're saying, but was it really necessary?
Yes, it was. Look, I wasn't kidding when I said that. All we need is a thick bugger like him mouthing off at the wrong time, and he'll have lit the blue touch paper on something we'll have a hell of a time putting out.
You sound like you've been in this situation before, Lieutenant.
Trust me, you don't want to know.
Sir?
What is it, Constable?
There's an elderly gentleman here who insists on seeing you.
Another gawker?
No, sir, he's one of the Church of Earth reps. Says he wants to talk to you.
Bloody public relations as well. Very well, where is he? Your Grace, what can I do for you? As you can imagine, I'm a little snowed under right now.
Is it true what they are saying about the killing, Inspector?
I can't confirm or deny anything at this stage, sir. Our investigations are still ongoing.
I understand, Inspector, but I'm concerned about the effect this will have on the current situation.
Our men are working on the case, sir. I wouldn't worry too much about your safety.
Inspector, it's not my safety I'm worried about. If the rumours are true, the Universal Church is responsible, then God help us all.
Ryan here. Go ahead.
There's a call coming in for you from Fleet Command, sir. Priority 1.
Put it through, Mr. Harper. Madam President, always a pleasure to speak to you. To what do I owe this honor?
I wish I was calling to exchange pleasantries, Captain. But I'm afraid I have other business to discuss.
Word travels fast, doesn't it? I suppose it's in conjunction with what's going on here?
The Senate was informed of the current situation an hour ago by High Elder Canudel. He wasn't too happy with what's happening out there.
Well, he's not the only one, ma'am. That's for sure.
What are your preliminary findings?
I don't really like to say at this point, ma'am. But let's just say I'm not falling for the line someone's trying to push on us.
You think the murder was done to frame the Universal Church?
As I said, it's a bit early to make any sound judgments, but I'd say that was a fair assessment of the current state of play, ma'am.
I'm glad to hear it.
Ma'am?
Well, let's just say there are certain groups who are keen to see that the church isn't tarred with the wrong kind of brush. If you get my meaning.
Politics again, ma'am?
Politics, Captain Ryan.
Well, that's the last of the forensic evidence, Lieutenant.
The body's on its way to the dock now. We should have a response in an hour or so. All being well.
Oh, Jesus.
Christ, on a bike! A shiny. Trader by the looks of him. Similar injuries to the priest. Probably caused by the same weapon, I'd say.
Lieutenant, how could you?
This is nothing compared to some of the stuff I've seen, Inspector. Get a crew over here. Get this body wrapped and ready to go. Nolan to Odyssey.
Odyssey here. What's up, Alan?
Tell the captain we're getting hip deep in it down here. Just found another body. Tempers are starting to flare a bit.
That bad?
Tell him it's just like Thessalos all over again. He'll get the picture. Nolan out.
What was all that about?
Pray you don't have to find out. Now, where's the elder?
Being held in protective custody on the 3rd floor of the conference building.
I reckon we ought to go check on him. Don't you?
Sir?
Commander, something bothering you?
As a matter of fact, sir, yes.
Well, spit it out then.
I wanted to ask you something of a personal nature.
Go ahead.
This is probably best done in private, sir.
Very well, Commander. Let's make this quick, shall we? I'm due on the bridge in 5 minutes. Let's have it then, Rachel. What's on your mind?
Sir, I believe that you have personal issues that are clouding your objectivity in regard to the current situation.
What?
Mark, I've seen how you've been reacting since the Elder came aboard. You've been edgy, tense.
I hardly think that's any cause to...
Mark, listen. You hold me over the coals a few weeks ago for letting my personal feelings get in the way of doing my job. As first officer, it'd be remiss of me if I thought that my captain was having those same issues.
You think that?
Mark, you know more about me than anyone else alive. You know a lot of things that no one else does. And for all that, there's a lot about you I don't know, and I get the feeling that this whole situation is connected to one of them.
You don't know a lot about me, do you?
Maybe not as much as I should.
Then you don't know that I was once going to go into the priesthood.
You? A priest?
Yeah, I know. My father was an ordained minister of the Church of Earth. He and my mother met while he was based on Garneau. He wanted me to follow in his footsteps. His work, his beliefs, everything. They were his life. But he forgot one important thing. Charity begins at home.
Ah.
Exactly. And I know it's a prejudice maybe I shouldn't have, but I'm only human, Rachel.
Even so, sir.
Believe me, Commander, I'm well aware of my personal feelings, and I do not allow them to interfere with my objectivity in this situation.
As you say, sir.
But thanks for reminding me all the same.
Sir, I've just got off the blower with Lieutenant Nolan. I think he was trying to tell me something.
You think, Mr. Harper? What did he say?
He said, tell the captain it's like Thessaly's all over again. He said you'd understand.
Major Tanner, assemble your men and be ready to leave in 5 minutes. Full combat gear.
Sir?
You remember your history, Mr. Leyland?
I'm not sure. I think I remember some mention of the name.
Thessaly was an Alliance penal colony. About 8 years ago, there was a revolt there. Fleet sent in the ghosts to put an end to it. Nearly everyone in the place was killed when the atmosphere processors were destroyed in the fighting.
I remember now. There was a big thing made out of it at the time. There were only a handful of survivors, as I recall.
Exactly. I think Nolan was trying to warn us that something is about to explode down there.
I don't like the way things seem to be heading, Lieutenant.
I'm not thrilled with it either, Inspector, but we need to keep it together. This situation's like a powder keg. One spark and... Step away from that man, right now!
Ah, look, it's the spaceman.
You get one warning, Constable. And that was it. Anyone else feel like being cocky? Didn't think so.
Lieutenant, what the hell are you doing?
By the authority invested in me by the United Stellar Alliance, I hereby assume command of all law enforcement personnel in the immediate vicinity, as outlined in Section 143, Paragraph 27, Subsection 3 of the Articles of Alliance. Anyone want to object? Glad to hear it. You! Get him out of the way. Elder, come with us.
What? I'm not to be carted off like some...
Fine, then I'll leave you here for when the mob arrives. I'm sure they'll be understanding. Didn't I just give you an order? Move!
Section 143. Paragraph...
I don't know. I made that all up.
You what?
I had to say something. There was no way I'd have been able to handle 5 darn cops all at once. Not anymore.
I protest. I have been treated...
With all due respect, sir, shut your yap. We need to get you out of here before... Oh, bugger!
It's the mob. They're breaking in.
Is there a back way out of here?
This way.
There he is, the murderous bastard. Get him, string him up.
Hold it right there. Listen to me, and listen good. The first person to lay a hand on this man is going to really regret it. The next one who does will regret it even more. You see where this is going?
You don't frighten...
Did I say you could talk? No? Good. Then shut up. Now then, I'm the duly invested representative of the law around here right now. One finger gets laid on this man and the full power of the law will come down on that finger very hard. I trust I'm making myself clear.
They can't stop us. There's only 2 of them.
True. But then you'll have to deal with us. Anyone feeling insanely lucky or just stupid? Good to see that you haven't lost your common sense. Or sense of self-preservation. Right. Then you know the way out. I suggest you take it before these gentlemen show you the way. And they're a little heavy-handed.
Lucky you turned up, Major.
Luck had nothing to do with it, sir. Captain's compliments, Lieutenant. Where would you like us?
I'm sure you can find yourselves some nice spots, Major.
We will indeed. There's a shuttle of security personnel on their way down. The captain thought it'd be better if you guys were more visible than we are. Might not provoke the same response.
Yeah, that's probably best.
Excuse me, young man.
Oh, geez. I'm sorry about the manhandling, sir, but we were a bit pushed for time back there.
Oh, think nothing of it, Lieutenant. I will be reporting your quick thinkingness and calmness in the face of danger to your captain.
No need for that, sir. It's all in a day's work.
Nonsense! You did an extraordinary in the face of adversity. I'm sure the Lord was watching over you then, son.
If you say so, sir. I can't say I really believe in all that.
Not surprising, young man. Not too many do in these days, but we're hoping that will all change.
Excuse me, sir. Nolan here. Go ahead.
Lieutenant, I have the preliminary results of your autopsy for you.
Go ahead, Doc.
Firstly, kindly refrain from calling me Doc. Secondly, it appears your victim was killed by the repeated application of a blunt instrument to the head and upper body.
So, he was bludgeoned to death, then?
Yes, put succinctly. Although the impact damage suggests above average strength.
So the killer isn't a human, then?
Certainly not a human male in his mid-40s, which rules out your charge.
Thank you, Doctor.
One other thing.
Yeah?
The weapon used was quite thin, but obviously very strong. I found traces of plant material in the wounds. Wood splinters, to be exact.
What kind of wood splinters?
I believe it is known as ash, a species indigenous to Earth, if I am not mistaken.
Ash? Oh, that's interesting.
There are no transplanted trees on Princeps. The soil is too dry here for most Terran species.
Thank you, Doctor. Keep me informed if you find anything else. Nolan out.
So, our murderer is a strong man who whips people to death with the branch of a tree that doesn't even grow on this planet.
He should be easy to spot then. This means one thing, though.
Which is?
The murderer isn't a native of Princeps, which means it's one of the delegates.
So you're sure about this, Mr. Nolan? Someone from the delegation is committing these murders?
Well, as sure as I'm likely to get, sir. It's the only explanation that makes sense.
But why would one of the delegates do this? Doesn't that kind of go against the whole ethos?
Well, it wouldn't be the first time someone's used religion as an excuse to justify their own agenda, sir.
True enough, Lieutenant. I'm just surprised it still happens in this century.
And they'll be saying that 100 years from now, Commander. Thank you, Lieutenant. Anyway, how are things down there?
Still tense as hell, sir. The additional security has stopped anyone else from trying something stupid. But Inspector McDonald's been getting sporadic reports from everywhere of civil unrest. UC folk against C of E against UC, and the opportunists jumping in between. It's getting worse.
Commander Leyland and I are on our way down. I have to pay a visit to someone.
Are you sure that's wise, sir, given the current situation?
I think we can resolve this relatively quickly, Mr. Nolan. Have a security detachment meet us at the landing field, and have transport standing by.
Where exactly are we going, sir?
To pay a visit to someone who I think can answer some of our questions.
First floor. Residential. Please mind the doors.
Who is it?
Captain Ryan, I need to speak to Bishop Stewart.
One moment.
I'm sorry, Captain. One can't be too careful in the current situation.
That's all right. I quite understand.
Who is it, Michael?
Captain Ryan, sir. He says he's here to see you.
God damn it! Hernandez, Sterling, secure the area. Stephen, stay with this guy. See if you can find out anything from him.
Sir, what?
Find out if the bishop has been acting unusual lately.
You heard me, Captain. Jump to it. Now, Michael was in it. Let's have a little chat, shall we?
Don't let him get... Damn it!
What the hell?
No time to talk, Lieutenant. Follow me. Nowhere else to go, Your Grace.
You don't understand. The great work will be undone if you interfere.
I remembered the bishop's cane, sir. Figured you might as well.
It took me long enough to remember, but good eyes, Lieutenant.
Not that it helps. He's a loon, sir.
Shh. Bishop Stewart, you know me, don't you?
Yes, I do. Marcus Ryan. After all these years, you've grown quite a bit.
I think he's suffering from some kind of dementia. Bishop, tell us what's wrong.
Wrong? Nothing is wrong. Oh, no, not again.
Bishop, we're here to help. Tell us what's wrong. What happened?
The voice in my mind. God's voice.
Crikey, sir. He's really lost it.
Bishop, listen to me. What you're hearing isn't the voice of God.
How would you know? You forsook the righteous path long ago. But we need warriors too, don't we? Warriors to fight the good fight.
Sir, I really think that you should...
You don't know, do you? No, of course not. How could you, little microbes?
What?
Bishop, what are you talking about?
Marcus Ryan, you failed your father. Did you know that? Failed, disappointed, let him down, going off to play tin soldier with the other little boys, and leaving him alone to face the darkness.
Sir?
Bishop, listen to me. Why did you kill your aide and that traitor? Why are you trying to start a religious conflict?
A holy war. That's what it is. A holy war. Don't you understand? No. How could you? Your mind is too small. You couldn't understand.
Sir, what the hell is he babbling about?
I'm not sure, Mr. Nolan. I think he's having some kind of mental seizure.
Seizure, you say? Oh no, my eyes are fully open to the glory of the Lord at last. I can see their holy works for what they are. I can see the great lie we have brought upon ourselves. I can see what lurks in the dark. I can see what's coming.
Stay back.
Sir, look out!
No!
I'm sorry, sir. He was about to attack you.
Bishop, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Captain. Oh my lord. It's gone. I'm free of it.
Sir?
Listen, my boy. I don't have much time. I was not myself. Something inhabited me. I thought...
Get a medic! Fast!
No time. Oh Lord, forgive me. I know not what I did. Your father was proud of what you achieved, Marcus, despite what you thought. He... My time's done. But you must listen. That thing, spirit, whatever it was, it showed me things. Terrible things. Something is coming, Mark. Something.
Bishop! Bishop!
Where's that damned medic?
Things have quietened down a lot since last night. I think we're over the worst of it. With the conference cancelled, the delegates going their separate ways, and the various groups are dispersing. Captain,
You don't have to apologize, Inspector. The bishop was clearly a danger to himself and to others. If you hadn't acted, it's likely I'd be going home in a box too. My report will reflect as much to your commissioner.
I can't believe that an old man like that would have the strength to kill a much younger one, let alone an Ashani.
He didn't. Well, not the him I knew, anyway. Psychotic break, mental aberration. Something happened that pushed him over the edge.
Sir.
Yes, Lieutenant.
You don't believe a word of what you just said, do you?
You're becoming quite the student of human nature, aren't you, Lieutenant?
So if that's not what you were thinking, what do you think?
What did the bishop's aide tell you?
Nothing of any consequence, really. He said the bishop had been fine, nothing unusual. He did say one odd thing, though.
Yes?
They called at about 5 different systems on their way to observe sermons at various places before arriving here. Apparently, the bishop was taken ill with severe migraines at their last port of call, but that's nothing particularly strange, as medical records indicate he's suffered with them for years.
Go on.
Well, the aide said that the bishop went out for a walk one evening to try to clear his head. He was gone for about an hour, and when he returned, he went straight to his office and dictated something into a voice recorder. The aide couldn't overhear what was said, and the recording only lasted a brief moment. But the bishop asked him to mail the data chip off the second he came out of his office.
Did he remember where it was sent?
That's the odd thing, sir. Apparently it was sent to the High Elder of the Universal Church on Earth.
What? I thought the Church of Earth didn't recognize the Universal Church as a legitimate religious order.
They don't, and as far as I'm aware, the two have never been in contact with each other previously. The aide even went as far as to say the bishop had been very uncomplimentary about the High Elder in the past.
Maybe he was making overtures to him. You know, healing the rift and all that.
Maybe. I knew Bishop Stewart a long time, and he was nothing if not dogmatic about his belief in God and the Church. Somehow, I can't see him offering an olive branch to a rival group.
Well, I don't suppose we'll ever know.
I have an uncomfortable feeling that we will, Commander.
Come in. I'm sorry to disturb you, Your Eminence, but this package has just arrived for you. A package? From whom? There's no return address, Your Eminence. Will there be anything else, Your Eminence? No, thank you. You may go, brother.
Your plans unknown to us. You will fail again, as you failed before.
Speak. This is Canada. We have a problem.
Sir, I think your obsession with this is starting to color your judgment.
What? Oh, that's it. Your career is over, Ryan. Oh, I've waited for this day for a long time.
I think it was mainly for Mark's benefit, to be honest.